Letter MPower Change, and I'm also one of the national board members for the Women's March. We are all gathered here today, Jewish, Muslim leaders, progressive leaders, to stand in unequivocal solidarity with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. We are calling on Democratic leadership to show leadership in this moment by expanding the language of the resolution to include anti-Muslim bias, anti-black racism, and xenophobia.
This Congress needs new faces and voices. Ilhan Omar is a dynamic, pioneer, courageous voice that has been much needed in the Congress. We need to support her. We need to show her that we love her, and the country needs voices like her. She represents her district proudly, and that voice needs to be amplified. She should not be the exception in Congress. Other members of Congress should have the courage and support the rights for the Palestinians, and they should not attempt to silence her or sideline her.
And this is a fight we must fight together, so that's why we are here together today. That's why any resolution brought by Pelosi and the Democratic leadership must address not only anti-Semitism, but Islamophobia, anti-black racism, and xenophobia as well. This is how we remedy the Chilul Hashem, the desecration of God's name, by standing together in praise of Representative Omar for her courage, her honesty, her truth-telling, her bravery to stand up against those that insist Palestinians are not deserving of human rights, that we must critique the Israeli government as it practices apartheid.
To those in power, denouncing Representative Omar, calling her a terrorist, threatening her, defaming her, you do not have a vision for a safe Jewish future. To those using this resolution to tear down the leadership of strong women of color, you do not have a vision for a safe Jewish future. The creation of this resolution reveals the outrageous double standard and clear moral hypocrisy happening in Congress today around the conversation of anti-Semitism.
We are here to stay. We will not be silenced. We will not be intimidated, and we will continue.
I know that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar really tries to push back against oppression. And as a Palestinian, I can tell you, when she speaks about those issues, what I hear is her trying to uplift my grandmother in Palestine, in the West Bank, and saying that there are real, actual, factual evidence to show that there's human rights violations. Remember, this is setting a precedent. If we don't hold impeachment proceedings today, start them today and hold him accountable to following the United States Constitution, think about that. This is not going to be the last CEO that runs for President of the United States. This is not going to be the last person that tries to get away with this. And what does that say about the most powerful, most important most important position in the world? I think it's really important to understand, you know, I'm here. There is a sense of urgency on my part and many of us. This is not to say that we disagree. I think every single colleague of mine agrees there's impeachable offenses. That's one thing that we all agree on. We may disagree on the pace. We may disagree that we have to wait for certain hearings. But at the same time, I think they all know the dangers of allowing President Trump to continue to violate our United States Constitution.